Jem, because you've got 2 children, haven't you? So which one was it that you sort of suffered the most?
I'd say mostly with Livy, because Toby's only 15 months, so...
And what sort of thoughts would you say you had? How did it start?
With me, I didn't notice that I had it until she was nearly a year old. It was my other half that actually noticed it in me. I just thought I was being a paranoid first-time mum, but I did have like quite a lot of dark thoughts that maybe I did think weren't normal, but I just thought, oh,
What sort of things?
Well, there was one time where I was on the bus, and where I live, it goes down a long street and round a roundabout, which is next to a cliff edge. And I was sat on the bus, and I could feel myself getting worked up, and I thought the bus was going to go over the cliff, and by some miracle, I'd survive, but she wouldn't. And I was imagining how I'd tell people she hadn't survived, and just all those kind of things, like going through the scenario in my head.
And these scenarios started becoming a bit more normal for you.
Yeah.
You didn't actually think that you needed to say anything. You were sort of thinking, what was it that made you think, something needs to change?
There was a point where I literally, Matt was feeding her, and I put my shoes on. He's my other half, and I put my shoes on and I walked out the house, and I was like, I'm not going back.
You actually did that?
Yeah. I was like, I'm not a good enough mum. She doesn't need me. I'm off. So,
and he thought you need to...
It was at that point he was like, you need to go and see someone.
What did you do?
I made an appointment. I was like, right, maybe I do need to. It's not really normal to walk out on your 11-month-old daughter. So I made an appointment, cancelled it, made it again, cancelled it. And then in the 3rd time I actually went and spoke to my GP.
How did that feel?
Scary. I thought they'd take her off me.
Yeah, see, that's
and this is the stat, isn't it? Because people, whether they are happy that it's actually going to...
22%.
22% of mums actually fear that their healthcare workers might take them away, Siobhan, and this is the problem. So brave of Jem to actually take the step.
So brave. I mean, I experienced something very similar, so I come from a place of empathy and understanding, but not everybody will understand that who hasn't been through it. But actually, the reason we did this, because I keep hearing young mums saying, I say to them, talk to somebody about this, talk to us, talk to somebody, go and see your GP. I can't, because they'll take my baby away if they know what's going on inside my head. And I keep saying to them, nobody will take your baby away. I promise nobody will take your baby away.
I mean,
there is help.
Is it what we call postnatal depression? Because I definitely, after I had a baby, and particularly with my first, had morbid thoughts of like, if I go through here and the car comes here, we're all going to die. I used to have that all the time, but I just thought it was normal.
Well, that's great that you thought that. But like, well done for accepting that.
But then, when is it not normal, and how do we know?
I think when it gets to a point that you don't want to do anything, and you think you're going to harm your baby just by going out with them because you're going to get run over, that's when it's not like a normal thought. Like, you should be able to walk down the street with your baby and not think a car's going to crash into you.
What helped you? Sorry.
Well, I went to the GP and they prescribed medication, but for me, I didn't want to go down that route. I wanted to help myself in a different way. I didn't want to rely on medication. I mean, it works brilliantly for some people. It is a great option. But for me, simple things like forcing myself to go to mums groups, meeting other mums, talking about it with people and not bottling it up just helped amazingly.
And this is the key, Siobhan. It is just that communication, because Jem admits it herself that it maybe just went a little bit too far, but there are so many degrees of how it feels to you that if you can tackle it early by just communicating with whatever forum, whether it's online or actually people out there to help, that's going to help you mentally go through the process, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's very, very difficult to talk about. Since we've done this, mums have come forward going, I thought my baby was going to be eaten by a crocodile. I thought I cut off all my hair because I thought my baby was going to eat my hair.
And you think you're alone with these thoughts.
You think you're completely alone, but you're not. This research shows more than half. So therefore, it is normal to have those kind of thoughts. But when you're right, when it tips, when it starts to really impact in your life, that's when you need to come forward and get some help. And going to the GP is a huge step. Absolutely, if you think you can go and talk to your GP, write it down and take it to your GP if you can't speak about it, or come online.
That's a good idea.
Write it down.
Sometimes actually saying it out loud, you think this is ridiculous, but if you just...
Well, there are so many ways. I know that Portia, my wife, has loves using Instagram and social media as a forum to get other mums just communicating and talking, and actually as an outlet, especially being a home alone, as an outlet.
Yeah, and when you first have your child, it's
helpful
so isolating.
to find other
really
mums wherever they
You
are.
don't necessarily want to post on Facebook saying, I'm having these crazy thoughts that my baby might die or I might kill my baby. You're not going to post that on your Facebook group. So we have created a safe space online where there are experts and mums talking about their experiences, girls vlogging, as you saw the mums there earlier, about their experiences, and actually a video course that you can take. And a video and also a quiz where you can kind of diagnose yourself. Where on the spectrum are you? Are you normal? Do you need a little bit of help? Can you self-help, or do you really need to go and see somebody and get a little bit of professional help?
Yeah.